Hey guys, sup, Ryu here for the Yu-Gi-Oh! Council, and today's coffee time is a little bit different. This is about Silent Wobby. Is it going to be the next best side deck card, or is it going to be absolute overhypeness? We've seen this with Ghost of a Grudge, for example, that 2 days prior to Gold Series' actual release, it was $25, and then 3 days later, and I got the information after I did all the filming for everything, it dropped to $8. Now, Silent Wobby here is selling out. Not jumping in price, but selling out. And it's easy to understand why, in a way, I guess. Because you can special this from your hand to your opponent's side of the field. And when you do, you draw a card. Well, they draw the card. And if you do, your opponent gains 2,000 life points, meaning that you will gain the 2,000 life points. So, doesn't sound all that special, like I said in the set previews and reviews. But this is where things get interesting. The hand size limit of the card's controller becomes 3. That means since you're giving this to your opponent, not only do you get 2,000 light points, but their hand size becomes 3. So immediately you have completely shut them down. Now this works great against Exodia if you can follow it up. I mean, maybe if you were running a deck that had hand destruction and you minus yourself and you throw this to the opponent, when you play hand destruction, they're going to be forced to get down to like the 3 cards. I don't know. I'm trying to make sense of it. I can understand why it's going up. Like, buying everybody scooping it up because it like limits your opponent's hand size, but I can't really. I guess it's like a cheaper version mistake in a way. I mean I'm not knocking it, but I think it's starting to get a little bit overhyped. It's great against Exodia. It's great against decks that are going to constantly sit there and have 6 cards in the hand. But against like top tier stuff, I don't see it happening. I'm sorry, I just don't. And I'm not just looking at the stuff like that is top last format that possibly will top this one, meaning pretty much like Mermels, because they are a very, very, very persistent deck, and some kind of Dragon Ruler build, because like I said before, Lightsworn Dragon Ruler is busted. At least in my opinion it is, and a bunch of other people's, it is busted. But there's like 20 decks that could top at any given chance. Maybe people are just preparing for that review. I understand that. It's not what I'm saying in this video. I'm not like downing that kind of stuff. I'm just trying to be the sense of reason here that if someone tells you, I'll sell you a Silent Wobby for $18, don't do it. Because to me, they're trying to make this out to be the next Mistake. But the thing with Mistake is chainable. Drone Lockbird is chainable. This guy is stuck on main phase 1. I'm not knocking it. I'm not calling it a bad card. I think it's a good card. Let's get this fully straight into the discussion. I think it's a good card. I don't think it's a great card. I think it's a good card. And when Ryu says it's a good card, on a scale of 1 to 10, he puts it around a 6 to a 7. That's a good card. That means it's not game defining or game breaking. Because if this instantly said, okay, the hand size of the opponent's controller becomes 3, they have to discard until their hand is 3, prior to the turn they set up, oh my god, I'd be all over this freaking thing. Without question, I'd be all over it. I just don't see that happening in that way. It's more kind of like, alright, you're going to special this, they're going to draw a card, and on their turn they're going to draw a 7. Meaning that all they have to do is just like set 4 cards and set on and say go, and pretty much they can exceed with this out, and you're basically giving them exceed food. That's how I see it. Like, you're like, here, take a level 4 monster, have free exceed material, have free synchro material. I don't see this card being that good because A, it's limited to your main phase. B, it's special to the opponent's side of the field, which I understand that's kind of what we want to do in this situation. I kind of wish it was like a quicker version of itself, like if your opponent's hand was at 4 at the end phase and you just throw it over there to force to get rid of something. I would think it's great. But we have Drone Lockbird, we have Mistake to stop meta stuff. I don't see this becoming something that's going to be regularly side decked. I mean, like I said before, maybe Nurse Burn, like, I don't fully get how that would work, but I mean, maybe like, the Magician or something, I forgot the girl's, the card's name. It's Fire Princess, there we go. basically like, when you gain life points, your opponent loses. I guess that could work in that sense. I don't really see it work in that sense. I mean, the way I see Silent Wobby is not a side deck card. I see it more and more in my mind. Besides Exodia, that's already been established. This is great against Exodia, but so is Protector of Sanctuary against Exodia, and that's a dollar common, like without question. So if you have trouble with Exodia, Protector of the Sanctuary, dollar common. Um, the way I see this card being really abused is that in something that you're going to constantly gain life points, or you're going to need those life points, you just keep throwing this to the opponent like you want to stall out. This is going to be great. Just here, take it. I don't care what you do with it. I just want the 2,000 life points. And your hand size becoming 3, that's just great for me. I'm done. I mean, maybe in the future this card will rise up. But I said this in the set previews and reviews. It's a good, okay card. It's not really spectacular. I think people are really just overhyping this, but that's my standpoint. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments about Silent Wobby. Take a second. Let me know, what your thoughts are to this. If I'm wrong or if I'm right, or you agree with me, or you have something that maybe I'm not seeing here. But who knows? Like Rainbow Kariba went up in popularity because a lot of us Yugi tubers were talking about it. At least I feel that way. How it was. Ghost of the Grudge, I feel was kind of the same way. But I said it with the discussion with Yugi 514 that Ghost of the Grudge is a good card, good side deck card against decks that are super fast and will throw crap in the graveyard. Not to sound that way. Like Lightsworn will just dump everything in there, and it's a great side deck card against them. But was it worth $25 for those 3 days? No, without question, it was not worth $25. And Silent Wobby may not be worth $25, but I don't even see it being worth more than $5. I'm sorry, because Ghost of a Grudge, at least it drops your opponent's monsters to 0. All this is doing is giving you 2,000 life points and making your opponent's hand size 3. And like I said, before they're forced to go down to that hand size 3, they could just say, you know what, I'm going to synchro it out. I'm going to exceed with it out. Gadgets will summon a red gadget. Get the search for yellow gadget. Detach for king. Make King of the Feral Imps with this thing. Detach and get Kage to Kage. So not only did you give gadgets 8 cards on their first turn, for example, if you're just throwing this to the opponent, because remember, keep in mind here, for example, you have to do this on your main phase. You can't do it on the opponent's. It has to be during your main phase. Then you pretty much just handed them 7 cards. That's my biggest issue seeing here. And it's more than just gadgets. But, as I said, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like I'm right. I feel like Silent Wobby in closing is a good side deck card against Exodia, or maybe against Prophecies. Like, if you're really having trouble with Prophecies, I still think Droll and Lockbird's better. But, hey, you know what? This isn't a bad option for against that kind of matchup. But if you're thinking about using this against Fire Fist or something like Dark Worlds, they're going to tear it apart. Use this Exceed material and just laugh for a half hour. I'm sorry, that's how it is. But if you guys like what you see, please make sure to leave a like, a comment, and subscribe for more. I'm ready for the Yu-Gi-Oh! Council. Thanks you for watching Coffee Time. We do these every Monday. I try to be consistent on the days that the videos come out. Like Wednesdays are stock market, and probably Fridays will be like dual videos because it's the easiest day for me to spit them out. And weekends will just be, easy going videos. Not that way because I'm freaking exhausted by my schedule. But thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you next video. Peace.